when I'm talking to people in New England, I'm hearing, you know what, we're waiting to see how some more tests come back. Not necessarily ruling it out yet. We have a plan. If he can't go, we'll go with Hoyer. But as of now, they're still sort of taking it day by day with Mac Jones, as the coach mentioned once or twice.
Day by day would be the operative way of putting this. Yesterday was vintage Bill Belichick, okay? So I want everyone to just enjoy this as we did. Here's Bill, asked about Mac Jones' playing status for this week. Just listen.
Day by day. That's the plan. Day by day.
Does he have a high ankle sprain?
Day by day. What do I look like? A doctor? An orthopedic surgeon? Like, I don't know. Talk to the medical experts.
What are the medical experts on staff that do?
Day by day. We'll evaluate him. I mean, what difference does it make to me? What do you think I'm going to read the MRI? That's not my job.
Oh, that's so good.
Oh,
I mean, that's virtuoso. That's a
max.
What do you think? How should I interpret that?
That's built to the max.
Yeah.
That is like maximum Bill Belichick right there. And I think it's hilarious. I mean, what is he supposed to do? It would be funny if he brought the MRI and like, look, here, I have no idea what that is. I don't know what this is. That's black and white. I don't know. But again, that's Bill Belichick for you. He's not going to give you anything. Come on. Day by day. It's day by day. Day by day. We're on to Cincinnati. I've done it. I've been there.
I'm always amazed when the coach says, well, talk to the doctors. You won't give me the doctor. Send your doctor out here. I got a million questions for him, but you're not going to do that. So, yeah.
What movie was that? Was that The Fockers with Ben Stiller was saying day by day, by day, by day?
No one knows.
I don't know.
Anyway,
I don't know.
no one knows.
I have no idea.
Way to leave me out there by myself, Greeny.
I didn't know where you were going with that.
You want to email me that one? We'll talk about it. Anyway, here's the real question that I have is I can't remember a time. And I know, look, there was on to Cincinnati, and people were sort of shoveling dirt on the Patriots back then, but they had a different quarterback who was day by day at those days, and he's still doing it in another place right now. I don't remember a time where it felt quite like this. You played for the Patriots, you played for Bill, you know. What does this feel like is going on right now in New England?
Bill Belichick, the GM, letting down Bill Belichick, the coach. And, you know, that's been said before, but that's really the case right now because you look at this Patriots roster, nobody scares you on the Patriots roster. No one. And you look at the past drafts, you know, free agency signings, and it's just all out there just like, who is this team? I don't know who this team is. They're a very nondescript team. They're nondescript and not very interesting, to be honest with you. And when was the last time we ever said that about the New England Patriots? I can only imagine what Robert Kraft is thinking. You having 20-plus years of just dominance, and now you're sitting here post-Tom Brady, and you're just like, we're like everyone else out here right now.
Well, there are a couple of ways to look at that. I mean, if Bill Belichick hasn't earned, a little bit of, I don't know, leash, whatever the term would be, then no one ever has, right? I mean, I get that part of it. But Kraft did say during this offseason that he expected this team to get better fast.
Coaching can only do so much, and every organization's had that judgment day, whether it was the Miami Dolphins moving on from, Dan Marino, whether it was the Bills moving on from Jim Kelly. We just know that, coaching can only get you so far. It's about personnel. It's about the players that you have. And right now, they're in the midst of a rebuild. And whether they want to admit it or not, they don't know for sure if this quarterback is good enough to be a force multiplier because of the talent within the division. If we're saying Tua has arrived, then you have to deal with Tua because he's a young quarterback. We're talking about Josh Allen as the MVP. Those are the erasers. Those are the plus multipliers that you can have a lesser personnel team and be able to overcome the Joes, right? And it's about the X's and O's. So now he's going to have to take a real big rebuild and say, hey, listen, does Bill Belichick want to move upstairs and focus on being a general manager because it may be time to get some new blood because this is going to be a long, drawn-out process. You guys are not going to get better and be contending for that division overnight.
What do you think, Nick? I mean, this is your team. It's your guy, Bill. You're very close to Bill.
First of all, you can't turn the ball over. The amount of turnovers that they have, Bill's coming in there and say, we can't win like this. You can't turn the ball over 8 times and expect to win football games, throw 5 interceptions. So first and foremost, you got to take care of the football. They've moved the ball down the field. If you watch that offense, they can move the football. They just haven't been able to put points on the board, and they turn the football over. So, again, It would help if Mac Jones didn't have more X-rays than wins right now at this point. You know, in 3 games, he's had to go back and get 2 X-rays after a game. That's not good. So you got to take care of the quarterback a little bit better. But I'm not ready to say that Bill isn't able to coach this team up and get them to be where they should be. And you look at the next 6 to 8 weeks, there's a bunch of winnable games, even with Brian Hoyer. If you look at the next 6 games, they can win 4 of those football games. That's winnable football. So am I going to put them in the Super Bowl? No, but I'm not going to say that it's time for Bill to go upstairs. That's not what I'm saying.
Graziano, what do you hear? What do you think?
Look, it's not great there right now, right? I mean, like there's a lot of concern about how do we get this right. I don't know where the fixes are coming from. Like they think the second-round pick, the receiver Tyquan Thornton, coming off of injury, maybe as soon as week 5.
2004, and they're doing it behind their third-year quarterback Jalen Hurts. Our Football Power Index thinks our guys are wrong. They give Philly, our statisticians give Philly a 65% chance to win. That equates to a 4.5-point favorite. But we had not won.
This is what we thought we were getting. You talk about elevating him up to the top 10 by the end of the season.
All right, so that's the Jaguars part of it. And obviously there will be, I think, a lot of room to talk about them because they are clearly way better than they've been in a long time. However, we just had a conversation and a debate here about how we're buying into Tua. Well, he and Jalen Hurts are going to be linked forever because of their history at Alabama and everything else. We're not ready to crown Tua yet. Are we ready to crown Jalen Hurts?
He looks damn good. he looks damn good. I think last week did a lot for me personally when it comes to Jalen Hurts because one thing about Philadelphia with Jalen Hurts, they've always been like one of the best rushing teams in the National Football League. Mm-hmm. Well, guess what? The Commanders held them down, from rushing the football. You saw Jalen Hurts literally slice and dice the Commanders to death from the pocket. That's really been the big thing we talk about with Jalen Hurts. Can you win games from the pocket? We know how athletic you are, how athletic, the plays you can make outside the pocket and in the running game. But he did it from within the pocket against the Commanders. To me, that's a big point for Jalen Hurts.
And we've had multiple people up here, including Dominique and Dan Orlovsky, make the point this week. That was the book on him. That was what he couldn't do. And he spent the entire offseason working on it, and now he is doing it to death.
I've believed for a while that Hurts has what it takes inside of him to continue to pursue the level of greatness that he wants. And we're seeing evidence of it because he's an improving player, right? Like these guys are not sort of what they are when they enter the league, and it stays that way forever. And if they are, most of them aren't going to be remembered. But Jalen Hurts, he knows what he has to work on. And then the Eagles, right, a great environment for him. They get him A.J. Brown, who's a wide receiver that can operate in the part of the field that was giving Jalen Hurts the most trouble. Like it all works together. Great circumstances, a tough player. Intelligent, mentally strong, and willing to do what it takes to improve.
So help me understand this. The Eagles are great. The quarterback is great. They're playing at home. There's no difference in rest or geography or anything else. Why is everyone sitting up here telling me they're going to lose this Sunday?
I don't know. They just might not be that smart. So, listen, I love the way this team is built. And it goes back to Jason Kelsey, the center, when he started talking about the expectations. And, in the preseason, you go through training camp, everyone was high on the Eagles. Mm-hmm. He came out there and said, it doesn't matter. We haven't done anything. Right. He said a different word, but it doesn't matter. Right. We haven't done anything. We have to go out there and actually prove it. We have to go out there and win football games. And that attitude is infectious, especially when you're the leader. He is a leader on this team. So he puts that in the rest of the team. Like, listen, I've been to a Super Bowl. I've been there and done it. We haven't done anything yet. Nobody's crowning us yet. We got to go out there and win football games. And Hurts, go back, all the archives. Go back to what I've said about him from day one. I love the kid. I think he's great. The way he can move in the pocket, his accuracy, and the team believes in him. And now he's got the backing of the coaching staff and the organization, which he might not have had a couple of years ago.
We'll see. I mean, you look at the games coming up on that screen. If you guys are wrong and they're right and they knock off Jacksonville this weekend, they could be staring at 9-0, 7-2. I think would almost be disappointing when you look at the schedule that is on their screen right now. In the meantime, there's a ton of news out there. Graziano, let's go through a bunch of it, starting with Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston, the Bucs did not practice yesterday in London. He's dealing with a back injury and an ankle injury. I said Bucks. He's with the Saints, obviously. Sorry, I'm going back in time. The Saints are saying that he's going to be fine. They held him out as part of the plan to get him through the week. Obviously concerning that he's this banged up early in the season. But as of now, the expectation is that he will be able to go on Sunday in London. Zach Wilson.
Yes.
That's right, for the Jets, making his season debut this week, coming off that preseason knee injury. The Jets are excited about what he can bring. They're also excited about the opportunity to sort of get him back on his development track and evaluate it. If this season's about anything for the Jets, it's about finding out for sure what they have in this young man, and obviously they haven't been able to do that yet as he has been hurt. And then Mac